Sexual Disagreements.
Hi, I'm Bec from Be Free Emotional Fitness Training, and I support women and girls to become emotionally stronger.
And I'm Vern from Move Forward Mentoring, and I specialise in male mentoring, helping boys and men find their passion, speak from their heart, and build better relationships.
And together we are Rekindling Relationships. We work with couples through mentoring sessions as well as facilitating communication and creative workshops to build deeper connections.
Welcome to our podcast, designed to help you strengthen and bring more fun into your partnership, as well as create a more loving, healthy, and strong connection.
Hey everyone.
Hey everyone. This episode we're talking about sexual disagreements and what causes them and maybe what we can do about them.
I disagree.
Oh, here we go. This is a good start. So you disagree on the topic? We're going to either have to come to an agreement, a compromise, or
have a fight about it and affect our intimacy.
Yep. But then we could have make-up sex.
Ooh, tempting.
Yeah, see, the thing is with make-up sex, actually after a fight.
I don't get it.
No, it's not like, I'm like, oh, great, now it's time for make-up sex. Sometimes I feel after a fight or disagreement, it's like, I just want to go and lick my wounds and go somewhere far away as possible.
Yeah, I don't feel that way after a fight at all.
No. So what do you think causes sexual disagreement?
Well, you might be a couple where you're actually in conflict a lot already. And that is going to have an impact on your intimacy, whether it's a sexual disagreement or not. It's going to impact your intimacy, isn't it? No matter what the subject. If you're often fighting, you're not going to be wanting to make love to that person.
No, not at all. And there are a lot of things that you can disagree about as a couple. Housework and chores, that seems to be like right up on top of the list. Finances are also probably one that really impact people.
Yep, kids.
Yeah, kids, especially when you're homeschooling them due to COVID, they can really create conflict and disagreements.
Absolutely.
You know, working so much and being tired. There's so many reasons that couples can get into conflict, but these invariably will impact your intimate space, won't they?
Absolutely.
What do you think people disagree with about in the intimate space? What are the disagreements there?
I think one form of conflict that can come up for people is when people feel like they are going to get something and then they don't follow through. This can be like, for example, the woman or the man, whatever, might be like, oh, we'll do that later, have sex later. And then they don't follow through. That can cause conflict. It can cause tension and resentment. So I reckon that's one that comes up a bit for people.
Okay. How about when people have different sex drives and one person probably wants to be intimate a lot more than the other person and then feels like the other person is holding out or is just not interested in them?
That causes conflict for
That
sure.
can definitely cause conflict.
I think if they feel that their partner might be giving somebody else more attention than them.
Okay, so there's infidelity or there's reaching out to somebody else.
Causes conflict and
that will cause
you
conflict.
won't want to be intimate with them.
No, it could be that one person has certain sexual needs. It might be that they want some sort of fantasies or some sort of role play and the other person doesn't want to hear it, doesn't want to
It's
listen.
really uncomfortable about
Really
it.
uncomfortable about that. So they have a different value.
What about people that are into porn and their partner's not and they're viewing it on their own? That can create conflict.
Definitely. Especially if the partner is watching it is doing it and it's taking away from the intimate space, or it means that their partner feels like they have to match whatever they're watching. Another thing that can cause sexual disagreement is when people are not trusting each other and feel unsafe. And then they disagree, then there's conflict in there, there's tension, isn't there? So what do we do moving forward? How do we actually deal with the disagreements and the arguments so that we can put this stuff to one side and be able to focus on the intimacy?
This is quite a complex one, isn't it? Because there's lots of layers and it depends what your conflict is about.
Yeah, how long the conflict's gone on for. And if you're at the stage where you're shouting and throwing things, then probably time to seek help. Probably time to go and see a counsellor.
Yeah, you might need help with this one. Or you could baby step it by, again, a date night, out of the house, neutral territory, and be really honest about the conflict that you're having.
But if you're having a real disagreement, sexual disagreement, and you don't feel like you match, then will a date night help? I feel like there's more that needs to happen.
Oh,
in there.
you might need, like I said, someone to help you with it, like therapists.
Yeah, I think that's actually really important.
Yeah.
If you're
Yeah.
fighting all the time, then you probably need to see some sort of marriage counselor, some sort of therapist, even if it means that you're doing that separately and you're going and seeing someone and you're working on your own stuff, because sometimes with this anger, it can feed off each other. So I've got all this anger inside me and I project it onto you, which makes you angry, and then it comes back on me, and then it's a never-ending cycle.
That's right. Yeah. So it's about breaking that cycle, isn't it? And like you said, it might be individually seeing somebody and or as a couple seeing somebody.
A date night might help, but it's got to have to be pretty clear about what you're talking when you go out there. It's not just a date night, let's go out and get drunk.
No. It's probably a combination of actually doing all of those things to kind of rebuild it.
You might have to actually look at the relationship and go, we actually fight more than we get along.
Yeah. Is it repairable?
Yeah. Is this it? Is this a make or break? And that's a conversation that needs to happen. Does this relationship need to end? You might have children. This might be a really hard decision to make, but it is one that needs to happen, because two people fighting with each other all the time is not good for the relationship or each other or children.
No, it's not good at all.
So something needs to be done as soon as possible. Sexual disinterest, which we talked about, is a bit more of an apathy, where this is sexual disagreements. This is where it's active.
There's probably some deep wounding that's been happening, maybe even long term, even, as well.
And there could be the words said, and it's something that you've said before in your mentoring. It's the feelings under anger. While we might see anger, underneath that are softer emotions of sadness.
Fear.
And fear, yeah. Maybe that's what's going on, is there's a disagreement because one person in that relationship is feeling fear about the relationship ending or the relationship not working or something going on. And their way of dealing with that is to be angry, the external version of that.
That's right. Yeah, it's looking beyond that emotion, isn't it?
And they talk about feelings being the tip of the emotional iceberg. So if something's happening for your partner, something happening for you, then maybe you have to bring some awareness to it. There's to be a bit of mindfulness. Okay, why do we keep on arguing about the same thing, going around the same old cycle over and over again? I feel I've done this in past relationships where we just keep on arguing over the same old point. Nothing actually moves forward. Nothing actually goes ahead. It's just this point scoring, like we spoke about in our podcast, Z is for zero sum game. One person's got to win at the expense of the other. Relationships aren't about one person winning. Both people have to win for the relationship to win. So there has to be some sort of compromise. In a disagreement, there's got to be some acknowledgement that, well, I might not agree. I might not like the answers I'm hearing, but I need to hear them because this is what is coming up.
Exactly. So if you find yourself in this situation where you're in conflict a lot about anything and everything and it is affecting your intimacy, then that's a conversation you both need to have and maybe seek some help for it.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode. Join us next week for sexual dysfunction.
Bye.
See ya.
Thanks for listening. Please subscribe and follow us.
And check out our website at rekindlingrelationships.com.
Bye for now.
See ya.